All right, we are at the end of the month of March, and guess what? It is still Women's History Month, and I am just so happy to be here with some great guests. Welcome to the DOS Way. I'm your host, Lieutenant Governor Tahesha Way, and Secretary of State. And joining us today for a conversation about business in the Garden State are some very, very special ladies. First, we have Melanie Willoughby. How are you today, Melanie?
I'm doing great, thank you.
All right. She is the Executive Director of the New Jersey Business Action Center, also known as the NJBAC, a division within my Department of State. And before joining us in 2018, Melanie, you have a storied history in this state. You did serve as the Chief Government Affairs Officer of the New Jersey Business and Industry Association, right?
Yes, I did.
A seasoned government relations strategist with 48 years working in Trenton. And Melanie has worked with federal, state, and local levels of government as an advocate for businesses of all sizes and types. Welcome, Melanie.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and up next, also joining us are the Esendemir sisters, Fusun, Gonca, and Arzu. They are the founders all of Thumb Bread, a North Jersey-based business that has been working with the Business Action Center to expand into exporting. We'll talk more with them shortly, but let me begin the conversation with Melanie Willoughby. Now, Melanie, we understand that you head the New Jersey Business Action Center.
Yes, that is correct.
That is correct. So can you just tell us, what does the NJBAC really do for the state?
Well, the New Jersey Business Action Center actually is the advocacy agency within state government. It is there to help businesses grow and thrive and helps them answer any questions they have. We search out and find the answers to the questions that the businesses have. We identify funding sources for them. We help them with exporting, which is why we have the sisters here with us today. And we love working with businesses to help them find locations when they're looking for new places to go and expand. And so anything that helps a business is what the Business Action Center does. And we are so proud of our people who we have 40 strong who work very hard in order to make sure that businesses know that we are here as a resource for them.
Yes, shout out to the NJBAC 40 strong team, as I call this. And you are the one-stop shop center, right?
That is absolutely correct, because anyone can come to us with any question whatsoever, and we can identify exactly where they should go in the government without them having to call around to all of the government agencies and say, can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? No, the Business Action Center knows exactly where to send them.
Okay, so you spoke of the STEP grants. Can you just explain to the audience what exactly are the STEP grants?
Well, the STEP grants are the State Trade Expansion Program, which provides a competitive basis for people to be eligible to be able to export. And we provide the resources for them to be able to do the exporting. And these are grants that give them an opportunity to either help with their websites or to help with their collateral materials or to go to trade shows. And these are for those who are new to export and gives them that leg up that they need. And not only do we give them the grants, but we also give them the expertise that our staff at the Office of Export Promotion has to help guide them through the process.
Yeah, and you've been receiving these grants since when?
Well, we've been receiving these grants now for about 15 years, and we're very proud of the fact that we get it from the SBA, which is the Small Business Administration, and we work very closely with them.
Okay, and the dollar range received through these grants have been?
Well, it's averaged from about $1.2 million to $400,000, and each year is different. It depends on how much money the SBA has to give out.
Okay, and how many businesses under your leadership have you assisted?
So across all of the programs of the Business Action Center, we help thousands of companies who call into our help desk and who also make use of our small business advocacy as well as our large business advocacy, as well as our export promotion office. But for the STEP grant specifically, based on the amount of money that we receive, we help on average of 25 companies, but we help more than that in advising companies who don't necessarily get the STEP grant because it's a competitive grant that goes to the companies.
Nice, nice. Such good work. And I tell you, collectively, throughout the years, we all have made a decision that we were going to target the food sector. I know I'm a foodie. What about you, Melanie?
Oh, I am definitely a foodie, Lieutenant Governor. There's no doubt about it. And I love walking the fancy food show. And I love it when you come and walk the fancy food show with us.
I'm telling you, the fancy food show is spectacular. When is it this year again?
It is the end of June, and it is the largest specialty food trade show in North America with 2,200 exhibitors from 62 countries and 34,000 attendees, and we'll be there with 15 STEP grant clients strong.
I'm telling you, you get to see all the foods from around the world. I know it was fascinating to meet one of my favorite celebrity chefs, Tom Colicchio. So Tom, if you're out there, listen to the DOS Way podcast, and hopefully we'll see you in June. And getting back to the food sector, right?
Yes.
How NJ STEP, this program is really targeted the food beverage industry, for potential grantees. So, outside of that, right, how many have you helped? I know you were speaking of the fancy food, but just let the audience know about how many grantees in this sector.
We have helped hundreds of grantees in the food and beverage sector. Not all of them have gotten actual grants. We have the limitation of the amount of money that we get from the SBA, but we have helped them to identify where they can go to trade shows, to identify how they can put together their marketing plan, to be able to actually go to the right country for what it is that they want to export.
Yeah, that's very key. I just applaud the NJBAC and your focus on the food and beverage sector. It's such, enriching ROI to our economy and, of course, to the businesses at the same time. And speaking of female food and industry leaders, I should say, Thumbread. With me are our guests. I'm going to turn to you, the Esendemir sisters, Fusun, Gonca, and Arzu. Now, I'm just going to ask a question. I am a mom of 4 girls. Is there a missing sister here?
No, we missing a brother.
Okay.
No, we could use a 4th sister,
Yes.
though. That would be helpful.
Okay. So those who are out there, they have been so gracious to have samples of their delicious thumb bread. You need the smell-o-vision, the vision, I don't know what you want to call it, but thank you for that. And of course, thank you for coming on the DOS Way podcast. I don't know who would want to start, and just let us know what inspired you to start Thumb Bread.
So I'll start since it had a lot to do with my my life. Back in 2007, Thumb Bread is an artisanal bread created back in 2007 by my sister in our kitchen for the restaurant. Now, I worked in electronic manufacturing, and for a very long time, back in 2005, my dad really started getting sick. He found out he has congestive heart failure. And during that time, I was a manager at this manufacturing company, and I was taking my own sick days, vacation days, take him to the doctors, hospitals, and I guess they weren't too fond of me taking off, even though they were my own vacation days. So I was let go. And that shattered my world. I didn't know at that point. I said to myself, what am I going to do? I have bills, I have obligations, responsibilities. At the time, my sisters were both in college, and I approached Arzu, since her background is finance and business management. I said, what do you think we should do? The only other real skill I have is I grew up in a restaurant because my dad had restaurants growing up, so I know how to cook. I said, what can we do to support? I really, with my schedule, I can't go back into the corporate world. I need something where I can make my own schedule. And I said, well, how about a restaurant? And I was actually expecting everyone to say no. And the only person that really gave me a little bit of pushback was my parents. They said, do you realize how much hard work it is? And, you know, you're going to have no life. I said, well, I don't really have a life now anyway. So that's how Thumbread came to be. Arzu wanted to create a bread that she can use throughout the menu, and she calls it bread for everything, because you really can use it in everything, even desserts. So
we were young. We had no investors, no formal culinary training, but we poured our hearts into everything. Thumbread became the signature of our restaurant. People would come in and they would just ask for the bread and ask to bag some up so that they could take home to share with their family and friends. The name Thumbread comes from how I shaped the bread. That's a question everyone always asks me. Why is it Thumbread? I shaped the top of the breads with my thumbs, and I wanted to have a fun, approachable, easy name that even children could remember. Eventually, the demand got so overwhelming that we decided to start packaging and selling the breads in our restaurants. During the pandemic, we made a difficult decision to pivot into completely from the restaurants to baking full-time and wholesaling our Thumbread.
You know, when we had our restaurants, we were making Thumbread every day from scratch, like hundreds and hundreds of pieces. And we were also in the meal program of a local college. So we were, in addition to our regular restaurant customers, we had about 300 college students that were eating sandwiches at our restaurant. So it was baking nonstop from scratch every day. And we were also selling in a specialty retailer called King's Balducci's. And then during the pandemic, when we pivoted, we were approached by ShopRite to sell there. And it worked out for us. And now we do that full time, and we sell to other restaurants. So people want us to get back into the restaurant industry, but this is nice because we get to we drop the bread off and say, you do what you do, and we're back to the bakery. So it worked out well, and we're fortunate that the three of us get to work together. We live together, work together, see each other every day. I know that sounds horrifying in some way, but we're very fortunate that the three of us are together. And the doctors had given my father 5 years. That was way back. I don't even remember what date it was, but I think he's going on like 15 years now. And we credit that to his great medical team, but also the fact that the business allowed us to take care of him and our mother, and to be there for them, and to, you know, be able to adjust our schedule when they need to go to the doctor, be there every day to see them and check in on them. So we are very, very grateful that this is a family business through and through.
Amen to that. I see the sisterly love right at the table, and I tell you, your story is inspiring. How many types of Thumbreads are there?
Currently, we have 4 different flavors.
Okay.
We have the original Thumbread. We have an everything but sesame Thumbread.
Love it.
We have a sourdough flavor. And we also have a whole grain flavor. And then we have a surprise gluten-free flavor coming up really soon, which I'm really excited about.
Oh, that truly is like exciting, just to have the 4 and the soon to be 5 flavors. And you were mentioning, Arzu, that you can use the bread with anything from sweet to savory. You want to speak a little bit about that?
Yes. Like Fusun mentioned, I call it bread for everything. That was one of the taglines I came up with, because it really is a versatile bread. You can make egg and cheese sandwiches with it. You can do a tuna sandwich. I've created French toast recipes with it. I slice it up and toast it and serve it along soups and salads. So it really is it's a bread that you can pop into your freezer and pull out whenever you need it. And if you need to create snacks for the children, it's just easy. You can do pizzas with it in the air fryer. So
made bread pudding with it.
Now you really
if we had a
have
kitchen
me,
here.
salivating. when anyone talks about the bread pudding, I can see that. You can also do like the croutons, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And anything you can throw into an air fryer with limited time it's just a good thing. So, what made you decide to say, okay, it's time for us now to export? And that then ties into Melanie and her team with the New Jersey Step.
So as we were gaining traction in the Northeast, we were doing pop-ups, we were connecting with customers, we were expanding our retail presence. People from overseas started approaching us, and we had already built in an ecosystem of international interest through our restaurant concept, Flatbread Grill. So where we kind of left it off before the pandemic was expanding overseas through, bringing Flatbread Grill overseas, and that kind of got halted. And we were always, our mind was kind of always still there that we wanted to be an international brand. And we didn't really see a path forward with it so much with the bread until people did begin reaching out to us, like, how about bringing it here? Like, we had inquiries from India, from the UK, from Canada. We get a lot of inquiries from Canada, from Turkey, parts of Europe, so even Egypt. So we had these inquiries and we didn't really know what to do with them. And around that time, a lovely man by the name of William Spear, we call him Bill.
I think I know him.
Total sweetheart. Great human being. He reached out to us and he had seen us online. I think we were doing a business event somewhere and he had seen us on a panel and heard us speak. And he said, I think that this would be a really great opportunity for you guys. We've got this STEP grant. We're with the Office of Export Management. And at the time, we didn't really know that this even existed. So we did a Zoom call. He introduced us to his team, Marielle, who's also awesome, lovely group of people. I can't say enough good things about them. And they laid it out for us very, very simply, and it was something that we were like, okay, well, we'll apply for the grant, and if we get it, then that's kind of fate, and we're meant to go and we're meant to do this. And we did get the grant, and it really changed the trajectory of our business journey for us, because we were able to go and do something as a small business, self-funded small business, there's no way we would have been able to afford. That was like the Summer Fancy Food Show, which the grant paid for, was our very first trade show ever. So it really opened up a lot of doors for us.
How was it participating in the fancy food?
Oh, it was amazing.
Did you see Chef Tom Colicchio there?
I did spend a lot of time in the Italian pavilion. I may have spent more time in the Italian pavilion than our own booth, but we did have somebody working it for us. But yeah, it's an amazing experience. There's no way we would have been able to afford it.
I agree with Gonca. I think preparing for the summer fancy food show was intense, but in the best way. But I think without the New Jersey Business Action Center, there is no way that we would have been able to pull that off on our own, because it would have otherwise been a really stressful experience, because there was a lot of moving parts. And, I remember emailing with Marielle Wolf several times, and I was thinking these questions are so stupid, but she would get back to me so quickly, and she answered every question. I would hit send, and then a response would come back minutes later. So it just really, the entire team over at the New Jersey Business Action Center has been an incredible asset to us as small business owners, and we definitely would not have pulled that off without you all.
Thank you. We love you.
We love you too.
Given it's Women's History Month, right? What can each of you say to other small business owners who are female? What advice do you give them?
For me, I would say never give up. Always do your research, and always know that contrary to past beliefs, there's always someone willing to help you. For me, I would never think, because you think you're on one side and the government's on another, and that's not the case here. I mean, everybody in your offices were so helpful, and just reach out. You never know the answers. Ask questions, do your research.
I would say, as women, trust yourself. I think that the world spends a lot of time making us doubt ourselves and question ourselves, and think twice about what we want, going after what we want. And I think that trusting your instinct, trusting your gut, following what you feel is your vision, if you truly believe in something, to shut out that noise. Because I think for us personally, because when we started, I remember for me, I was working the front of house at our restaurant, and everyone thought I was in high school because I had the unfortunate curse of having extremely chubby cheeks. So people were always like, where's your boss? Where's the owner? Where is he? And I was constantly fighting against this self-doubt, this imposter syndrome, like, I deserve to be here. I know what I'm doing, because people were constantly making me doubt myself. So I think that trusting yourself, following your path is truly, truly important, especially for women.
I think both of my sisters said exactly what I wanted to say. I would like to add one thing to women entrepreneurs. There is no set timeline. You create your first draft to the blueprints. You're never too young. You're never too old to get started. And if you fail again. Most people bow out after they fail once, but I feel like my sisters and I, the more we failed, the more lessons we learned, and that made us stronger and wiser, and that's why we're where we are today, because we didn't give up. So never give up, like Fusun said.
I love it. I love it. Well, I tell you, ladies, you have been a true inspiration to me, and I know others who are going to be listening, and those who you've touched already out here in the community, and what you'll do internationally. And on behalf of Melanie and myself, right, we are just so thankful that we had you participate in the STEP program, because you're uplifting what all of this is about. Connection, trusting yourself, and just keep going, right? And be ready. That's what all of this is all about. So thank you so much. And we're about to just taste some of this good old bread. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.